Good evening, internet. So it is the 12th of March. It's a Tuesday evening. It is, what's the time? It is 7:20. Now, bit of a late one for me, very unusual. A very wet and windy France today, I'm afraid, or Breton, which is part of the French territory which I live in. So I had someone ask me if I could explain what helmet setup I've got, as in camera and mics and that sort of stuff. And so I thought I was going to explain. I was going to text it all out, and I hate writing. I mean, you know, it just goes on forever and ever and ever. So obviously there's probably going to be a lot of people that aren't really interested in this, but for anybody that is, especially for the one that asked me, this basically is for you, right? And now, let me just explain something. I am not into photography. I wish I was, you know. I think, you know, I look at people with these nice big SLR cameras, you know, and the lenses and some of the pictures that they take, absolutely stunning. For me, however, it's just one of them things. It just doesn't sink in, you know. There's all those different settings, ISO and something else, and oh dearie me, you know, you adjust this to get that and all that, and blur it in and all. I mean, if you're into that, I take my hat off to you, I really do. It's, you know, it's something that I've never done. So everything that I use is basically, it is just what it is. It's just as it comes to me out the box is how I use it. Right, okay. So obviously I've got the helmet, yeah, which we all know I put on the mount. Okay, so you know that there slots down in that, and that's that bit. So what do I use? Right. So the camera that I use, yeah, it's a GoPro. It is a, hang on a sec, let's pop it out. It's a GoPro Hero 7 Black. You see that there you go, yeah. And yeah, I mean, what can you say? That's what it is. Now, to get the audio on the early GoPros, you buy this thing here, right, that's from GoPro, right, which you need. You can't use an external mic unless you buy this from GoPro. There are knockoffs, copies, but they don't work. So basically it's the GoPro one or nothing, and these genuinely are going to cost you, I don't know, 50 quid at least. So there, one of them there things, right. And then of course, now some people use the normal GoPro case and they get this thing and they stick it to the side of the helmet with tape and all that, and I can't be doing with that. So this is a Ulanzi, I think you pronounce it, case where you've got this little compartment underneath and this goes in here. So basically your GoPro sits in there like that, and then this bit here just slides on like that, and then this goes in there just like that. Now, so on the other side of this you have two plugs, yeah. One, the little round one, is where you plug your mic in, which we'll come to in a minute, and the other one, right, is you can then use external power, you know, an external battery pack. And so again, the problem is with that, you know, and I have seen people with an external battery sellotaped to the back of the helmet, which, you know, it all adds to weight, doesn't it? Not to mention the fact, probably not the safest thing to do, you know, if you're in an accident. Anyway, I mean, that's beside the point. I don't run an external battery. I've got about six GoPro batteries that I keep charged up and, you know, carrying with me. And then on the Himalayan, I've put a charging point, a USB charging point on the back, and hang on just one sec. I've got this, yeah, and this holds 3 batteries, yeah, and put a charging point there. So from my USB, I've got a little bag strapped to the underneath the boxes, so I can charge batteries up as I go along anyway. Right, so that clips on the front of your helmet, yeah, and then what you've got is this lead here, right, comes up and plugs into the GoPro. That's it. Now, the next problem, which is always a pain in the bum, is it's a lapel mic, yeah, and this is it. They're all the same. I mean, there's all different makes and brands and God knows what else. I've got to be honest, I get mine from AliExpress, €3.50. I've had that one fitted, well, not in this particular helmet, which come from helmet to helmet. It's lasted me, you know, it's old, it works perfect. I always carry a spare, you know, when I go away. But as you can see, the cable is really long. So what I do is I get this, yeah, leaving enough cable to come out to the camera, and then I loop this like this, yeah, and it won't hurt, just don't pull it tight. I loop this like this, like that, yeah, so you end up with that, and then I tape that, yeah, round so it is, and then what I do is at the back here I put some double-sided tape and the chin part of your helmet, stick that in there, and that's it. Mic's there, you know, put that there as well, job done, end of. That's it. It's as simple as that. It's not expensive. Obviously the GoPro is the expensive part. After the GoPro, the rest of it, no, it isn't. And again, you know, you know, I mean, there's lots of different cameras on the market. There's the DJI one, and you know, DJI cameras are extremely good. All my drones are DJI, and you know, the videos that they produce are absolutely stunning. So the DJI ones are good. There's the Insta Ace Pro, which Itchy Boots, she bought 2, one for the helmet, one for, now she's left the one on the front of the bike, but the one again now here, she's gone back to the GoPro because she says, you know, that she wasn't happy with the audio. At the end of the day, GoPro are the leaders. They always have been. I'm not saying they're any better, I'm not saying they're any worse. It's what you're comfortable with. It's what I'm comfortable with. I like the GoPros. I've got everything set up for them, so that suits me fine. So that's it. GoPro, the lapel mic, and that's it. And then obviously it's just then you get back, you take out your SD card and whatever editing suite you use. Again, I use what do I use? Hold on. One is KDN Live, yeah, which is free. It's free. You just download it on the installable version, and that's free. And the other one is Movie Maker Pro. Sorry, Movie Maker Video Editor Pro, which is a Microsoft app. Now, I bought that. There's Movie Maker and Movie Maker Pro. I had the Pro version. I think I paid, I don't know, it was about €15. That's it. Now, if I'm doing a single camera, so say I'm working in the garage or something like that, I use the Video Maker Pro because it's just one camera, and it's quick. It's simple to use. It's easy. You know, you can cut, you can splice, you can join bits, you can take bits out, you can put music, you can voice over, you can do everything you want with it. But if you want to use multiple cameras, then that won't do it. That will only run one camera. So the KDN Live, then you can add, I think you can add 6 cameras, I think it is. I don't, I've got one. 2 cameras at the very most. Three cameras. So, and of course, and then you've got to juggle things about, because obviously your audio is going to come from the one here. So the other camera's the one that faces me, or if I put the one down low on, then that's what you got to sync up. You still want to keep your manual. Anyway, that's it. But like I said, I'm not a professional, nowhere near it. I don't claim to be. Everything I do on, if you want to call it a vlogging or whatever you are, it's self-taught, you know. I mean, it is. I'm no computer wizard or anything else. And I made the mistake when I first started. I had an old computer, and so when I was doing the editing, it just wouldn't work, you know. Like the processor that I had, it just wouldn't work. It just wouldn't handle it. So basically now, what I've got now, I've got an i5 processor with 32 gig of RAM, and it's it's the 9th generation, and it does it a piece of cake. You know, you can do 4K if you want. I don't do 4K. I've got all my cameras set to 2.7K at 30 frames per second, I don't know, but it's 30 frames per summit anyway. And you know, and that's it. So I try to keep it as basic as I possibly can, and that's it. That's how I do it. That's all I do, you know. If I'm walking around, I've got 2 GoPros. I mean, I've showed you the one here, and obviously I'm recording now. This is being recorded on a GoPro. The other GoPro is an older one. It's a GoPro 6. And basically, it's a backup camera, you know, which I've never had to use. Neither of my GoPros have ever let me down. But what I tend to do as well is, if I'm out and about now, is my phone. I mean, look at the cameras they put on these phones these days. So this phone of mine, it's a 120 megapixel camera on this one, and it's got quite a decent this is quite a modern phone. This is a Redmi Note 13. It came out in October last year. But you know, I got to be honest, I used to be against using phones but the cameras and video quality on these phones now, seriously, they take some beating. So if I'm going to, you know, get off the bike and stroll around, I tend to use this. You know, the audio is great, and then basically, you know, when I'm editing, I just put this into the editor, and that's it, job done. Okay, so I mean, I hope that's answered the question that was asked. That's what I do. That's how I do it. I don't think it's a complicated setup at all. You know, I believe you me, I don't like spending lots of money on cameras and things like that, so I try to keep it as a basic system. I mean, I try to get the overall effect that comes over when I've done the video. So, you know, because there's nothing worse than if you're watching a video and it's the, you know, the quality's no good, or the audio. I think the audio is the worst. You know, I mean, there's some people, you know, that you watch and the audio is terrible and you can't hear them, or it's crackly, or it's all wind. And anyway, so I try to get it the best that I can. So that's it, really, I think. Yeah, that's why. But I got to tell you one thing, which is nothing to do with GoPros, helmets, or anything else, although it is to do with bikes. Our CT in France, it begins on the 1st of April, which is fastly approaching. So there's only one of my bikes which has got to be done. That's the Transalp. So I went in search yesterday of a CT station. Now in France we have CT stations, right? And those CT stations that test the cars, they can't be a garage. They are specifically a testing station. They have no links whatsoever with any garage. So of course the the French government has now said, okay, right, so as well as testing cars, you can test bikes. Now, they can't force them to do it. And this was my problem yesterday. I go out, I'll go to two that I use regularly for the cars. They both said no, quite adamant, no, we're not doing it, not interested, blah, blah, blah. But the one told me of a place that did, which luckily for me is quite close. It's 15 minutes away. So went down there. But yesterday, it was Monday. A lot of places in France have a Monday. They don't work. They don't work. They're like an extended weekend. So anyway, so today we got hold of the guy. Now, I'm not going to mention who it is, his name or anything else, or the testing station. But basically, the guy said, yeah, we are going to do it. He said, but you know what? He said, I'm doing it because it's my job and I've been told to do it. He said, I know nothing about motorbikes. He said, I like bikes, looking at them, that's it. He said, I have no idea on the working order of a motorbike. He said, and apparently, they've got to ride them as well. He said, I've never ridden a bike. Never in my life have I ridden a bike. He said, I'm not happy about the whole situation. And I said to him, you know what, and this guy hasn't even got a license to ride a bike, yeah? And he said, what a shambles. It is an absolute shambles. He's been on a 30-hour training course, basically, and he's got a bit more to do. Now, the part where, he's going to have to ride the bike, I mean, what's he going to do? His test? You know what I mean? And this is typical of the French government. Some interior minister, who sits there one day with his croissant and his coffee, and he thinks, you know what? I'll tell you what, let's start testing bikes. And it's a bit like a few years ago, one of our interior ministers, yet again, came up with a fantastic idea that everybody on the road, whether it was a car, a motorbike, a scooter, as long as it was a motorised vehicle of some description, you had to carry your own breathalyzer with you. And you know what? That was another waste of time, wasn't thought out. It never got off the ground, and it was never scrapped, but it's not enforced. Nobody carries them anymore. It's a joke, absolute joke. And it's a bit like this. None of these testing stations are interested in this. They don't want to do it. They're not trained up for it. They're all geared up for the guy. Apparently, from what I can gather, from what was said, it's going to be more a visual inspection, yeah? There's no rolling roads for them. There's no... It literally is a visual inspection. But like this guy said, he hasn't got a clue about bikes, yeah? So what a total waste of time, of effort, of... Nobody at the top has thought this through, and yeah. So... whether it actually gets off the ground, and I'm not being funny, if I take my bike to have it tested and some guy's going to get onto it, I'm going to be saying to him, you insured, you licensed, what, I mean, come on, don't our pride and joy is being dropped, do we? It's going to be interesting to see how this pans out. I mean, it really does. But I do believe that not only is it the bike that's going to be tested, your clothing is going to be tested. What you wear, gloves, helmet, jacket, trousers, boots, they've got to be CE certified. Yeah, they've got... Now, am I going to walk in there and drop me kegs so he can have a look to see if I've got a CE sticker? Unbelievable. The best of it is, right, I've got 2 pair of boots, both of them expensive. Both of them are not CE certified. My jackets, okay, I have got one, the last one I bought, that is CE. The new helmet, obviously, is CE. My gloves, I must have 5 pair of gloves, expensive gloves that I've had years, that I paid a lot of money for, not CE. So, what am I going to rush out? I'm a trouser, I wear jeans, right? They're not CE certified. So what, is everybody going to rush out now? Are we going to be failed? Is our bike going to be failed just because the rider? I get it. All this is to try and stop the summertime when the young kids get on the scooters, ride round in flip-flops and shorts. But to be fair, it's not just the kids. I've seen grown men riding bikes, motorbikes, powerful bikes, you know, flip-flops, shorts on, you know. And I understand, yes, okay, that's what they're trying to stop. But in that case, CE certified? No. What it should be, you wear suitable motorcycle equipment. Otherwise, this whole test is going to be a joke because, you know, I don't know. I mean, yeah, it's just a joke. It really is. Anyway, on that note, before before I get deported from France from saying that they're a waste of time, yeah, I'm going to end this video, and like I said, I hope explaining how I do my vlogging bit, if you want to call it, has helped the person at least that's asked, and it might have been a bit of interest for anybody else. Right, okay, like I said, it's raining here, and I actually thought after my ride out on Sunday, which was very enjoyable on the Himalayan, I thought I might get a few more. It doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. Right, I'm definitely going. I'll catch you in the next video. Look after yourselves. I hope you're all well. See you soon. Bye for now.